Hello everybody, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited for today's video. As you guys saw the title, we'll be doing a full face of L'Oreal. Oh, you guys voted. You voted. So I don't even have my phone. I posted honestly this poll a while ago. It was a pretty long time ago. But you guys were, I think it was like between Makeup by Mario and L'Oreal, but I will be doing Makeup by Mario eventually anyway. It was kind of like, I honestly had most of these products. I just needed to kind of fill out a couple products here and there. So honestly, I'll probably do both. But for now, we're going to start off with some drugstore. And honestly, it's perfect because I know the Sephora VIB sale is coming and we're going to be talking about a lot of high-end makeup. So be fun and fresh to talk about some drugstore makeup. First, if you guys like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Without further ado, let's just get started. I literally just got back from Target because there was one product that I was not gonna buy because I was like, I don't know how I'll feel about it, but I bought it anyway because I was like, you know what? If this is gonna be a full face, we're gonna do a full face, honey. Let's go in with our first L'Oreal product. L'Oreal has never been a brand that was like I was super excited about, but one of you guys actually reminded me to. And when I tried their L'Oreal foundation, I think it's a True Match Super-Blendable foundation. Love that foundation so much, but I haven't talked about it in a hot minute because mine actually like kind of started to go bad, and so it stopped looking as good on my skin, and so I got rid of it. But I would love to try it again. We have a different one today because L'Oreal has so many foundations. So we'll talk about it though. Anyway, that kind of like sparked my love for this brand, and then I started trying products here and there, and they were all bangers, like all 10 out of 10, and it surprised me. This was a product that I sought after for so long because people love this, and I never pulled the trigger because L'Oreal is probably like on the more expensive side of the drugstore. I think this can get to like between $13 and $16, but it's worth it. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. I have the shade Medium Glow. They do have a bunch of different shades now. These are nice because yes, they're kind of like similar to the effect of like a bronzing drops or whatever. I always put too much. Similar to the effect of like a bronzing drop, but these are actually more moisturizing, more lotion texture, and so you don't have to mix this with a moisturizer, whereas like the bronzing drops you're gonna have to mix with like a moisturizer or something if you want it to kind of be moisturizing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I just went crazy. Kelly Strack is the one who made me buy this, to be honest, because I wanted it for so long because she talked about it literally non-stop. So, but I've also talked about this, so I'm sure you guys know that I really love this primer. Is it like my go-to #1 primer of all time? No, but I do think if you're someone who likes the glow, but you want it to be moisturizing, you don't have to worry about mixing it with a moisturizer or whatever. You don't have to think. This is your guy. Obviously, don't put too much like I did. For today, we're going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Wear Up to 32 Hour Fresh Wear Freaking Foundation. It's not in the name, but it's, I have the shade 486. I was like, again, so I was like thinking about what foundation to get, and L'Oreal has so many foundations that I feel like are people's go-to staple foundations. So I've already tried the one I was talking about earlier, True Match Super-Blendable foundation, and I love that foundation. It's in a little tube. That one I believe is the cheapest. I think that one you can get for $10 at Target, but it can go up to like $13 just depending on where you get it. But that one is the cheapest out of the bunch, but it's so good, again, stunning. But I've done plenty of reviews on that one, so we're gonna talk about this one today. I've been using this for the past couple of weeks, and I'm obsessed. So the shade is a little dark for me, but honestly, we're gonna make it work today because I think this foundation is beautiful. Now, this is a foundation I've tried in the past. Honestly, I think when it first came out, I tried it and literally did not love it. And so I wanted to give it a retry because I saw so many people who loved it at the time too. But still just love this foundation, and it's literally so beautiful. I also have like the tinted one that looks Serum, I think it is. Looks so stunning, but I was like, okay, let's go with this one. It honestly smells so good. I don't know, is there SPF in here? Yeah, there is. There's SPF 25. How did I not even know? but it's so beautiful. Honestly, it is super long wearing. What I love about this foundation too is it's not going to be glowy. I honestly haven't even worn this combo together. If you wear like just a normal hydrating primer, this foundation's not gonna, it's not a glowy foundation. I feel like it's more of a natural finish foundation. It kind of works with whatever you put on underneath it. So if you're gonna put on something more matte, I'm sure it will look more matte, but I like to put on like a hydrating primer and it looks just like a natural finish, and it's so stunning. It has a beautiful coverage, literally such a beautiful coverage. I feel like it's more of like a light to medium. I feel like you can probably build it up, but again, you guys know me. That's not my journey. Next, we're going with the True Match Radiant Serum Concealer. I've talked about this. I've loved this forever. It's literally my only drugstore concealer because it is so good. It is genuinely one of the creamiest concealers ever. It blends so easily, but what I love about it is it's a nice medium coverage. It's going to cover your under eyes, but it's not going to look heavy or cakey or dry. It is so creamy. Like, I feel like I have this memorized because honestly, I've talked about this concealer so much. It's literally so good. Not one complaint. All my shades and stuff will be down below, but I do have the shade W6, which I feel like it might be a little light for this foundation, but I feel like it's not a bad shade like on my everyday. But honestly, I never have the right foundation match, so I never know. But this is a concealer I would definitely repurchase if I was ever out, because it just is a perfect concealer. What I like about it too, it is obviously like a more radiant finish, but it's not going to look like glowy or like it's not going to have shimmer or anything crazy. Like, it's literally just this more natural radiance that makes your under eyes just like that kind of combats dryness and any sort of texture. It makes it just look a little bit more youthful, young. Like the spokesperson for this concealer. I feel like I've talked about it so much and it's literally so stunning. So if you have not tried this concealer, now's your time. I just think it's so beautiful. Okay, this is the product that I have not tried yet. So this is the L'Oreal True Match Super-Blendable Powder. So this was the product I ran to Target for because I was like, I don't know, like if I'm gonna get the powder, because they had two different powders and they're just like, powder foundations are not my thing, and these are tinted. Like, I like a translucent powder. Sometimes it'll be like translucent light or like translucent medium, and I don't mind that. I just don't love finding I can't find my shade matching foundation or concealer. You think I could do it in powder? Like, absolutely not. So I ended up going with the shade W5, which is lighter than the concealer, but I felt like it might be fine if this powder is not overly pigmented. First of all, with this foundation, because the foundation is too dark, and a lot of my foundations are too dark, but also, like when I got the Tower 20, not the Tower 20, the Kosas powder, and that one's like a shade, and really, you can't really tell. So I'm like hoping that's the case, but I don't know how much coverage these have. So that's why I was torn. I just wasn't gonna get it, but I decided to get it anyway, because I was like, you gotta commit, Marissa, commit. And then it comes with this cutie little powder puff back here. Like, honestly, these are so cute. I'm gonna just use it, but so much cuter than the other ones. This one's probably gonna enhance the texture, the pigmentation a little bit more, but that's okay. We're gonna apply it to the under eyes. Honestly, I don't even have to freaking tap anything out. My creases are good. Nervous. Oh my gosh, look at that difference. You can like totally see that, and I'm not even like close up, like we're far away here. That's insane. It did add a little bit of coverage, I feel like, but it doesn't look like bad. Maybe a little, I don't know, but I feel like, you know, everything, not accentuates creases, but like I can't get rid of my creases, so I don't think that looks bad. I think that looks really pretty. Okay, fine. Oh, this does have a mirror. I couldn't remember. Yeah, I feel like on camera it doesn't look too bad. In person, it's borderline too dry. It might also be like this little powder puff because it's super thin. I feel like it's not picking up, like I feel like, you know, usually the powder puffs I feel like hold on to a little bit of product. I feel like this one, since it's so thin, it's probably literally like if you put it on with like paper, you know what I mean? I don't know how to explain that. But it doesn't look bad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not obsessed, but I'm not mad at it. All right, before we go in with some bronzer, We're gonna go with the L'Oreal Lumi liquid blush in the shade Dewy Worth It. I know the name, but okay, I wanted to make sure. I love this blush so much, and I hope that they come out with more shades. They have a couple of shades even at Target. It's at Target too, on Ulta though, as well. And they're so beautiful, but most of them, the darker ones, the ones that I would use, have shimmer in them. They look like they're more like luminous. Well, they have shimmer, so these are like luminous, but they don't have shimmer. Those have shimmer. And so I'm like, when they come out with more shades, and honestly I really hope they come out with like cream bronzers that are in this formula, because this formula is so bomb. It blends so easily, so quickly, and your skin looks just flawless. It's not picking up foundation. It doesn't accentuate any dryness or texture. It's literally perfect. Don't mind my foundation. Oh my gosh, it's literally so stunning. And what I love about it too is that, again, it doesn't have glitter or shimmer, but it is on the luminous side. Like, it still looks very natural, like naturally luminous, if you will. Not kind of like the primer, because honestly the primer is really luminous. But this one is kind of, I guess, more like kind of like the concealer, where it just looks more skin-like, more alive, juicier, but like not over the top. It's not a lot. I put a lot, but it's not, the formula is not a lot. I feel like that's fine though, because we're probably gonna, well, we are gonna set it with some powder, just because I want to do the powder before I go in with the powder bronzer. But I love that formula, and honestly, that was like one of those products that I was like, no wait, L'Oreal knows what's happening, because I tried the Maybelline like liquid blushes, and I'm like, Maybelline, are you living on your own planet? Because those blushes were not good. But L'Oreal, and they came out like around the same time. I don't know if they're the same brand or the same owners, I have no idea, but I've heard that they might be, but maybe I just made that up in my head. But anyway, the L'Oreal ones are better, so sorry, my brain was just doing 6 things at the same time. First, let's look at this powder, because you can obviously see the difference here. It definitely did set my makeup in place. It did mattify a little bit. Let's see how matte though in person. Okay, it's looking soft matte. It's looking very smooth, very airbrushed. Right on my like smile lines here, it's looking a little dry, but not bad at all, honestly. This may be a powder that I use more in the summer, but honestly it looks stunning, so I'm not mad at it. Honestly, this is also a powder though, if I had a very like, I don't have one right, I'm not going to use one today, but if I had a very like hydrating or like even a little bit glowy setting spray, I feel like it would be perfect. And then the color honestly looks really good. It made my foundation look really good, I feel like. Like over here we're looking a little orangey, but over here it's a little bit more neutral. Okay. Perfect. Sorry, I was also saying that I went to Target to look if L'Oreal had like brushes or sponges or whatever, and they don't at my Target. So I don't know if they do on Ulta. I feel like maybe I haven't seen any of them, but I was like, surely they have like just a makeup sponge or something, because I feel like every brand does, but I didn't see one. So I'm like, maybe not. That's what I always say about L'Oreal, as much as right now I'm telling you that the products are amazing, which is true, they are amazing, so don't get me wrong, but I feel like they are never like creative. I'm like, can you like get something fun, like do a fun collection, or like they come out with like 3 blush shades. They have 2 highlighters out. I don't use highlighter anymore, so I didn't buy one, but literally 2 highlighter shades, and I'm like, L'Oreal, it's 2024. Like, you know better. You know better, literally. So that was always my gripe. I'm like, you got brands out here, like even like Wet n Wild, Elf, like obviously Elf has become way bigger than it was before, but like Elf, they are super affordable, coming out with creative stuff, and they have high quality products. I'm like, this is a trifecta. They're a triple threat right there, and L'Oreal's has amazing products. Everything else is just not there. But I have to say again, this is not to dog on L'Oreal, because they have amazing quality products. If you're someone who doesn't care about like fancy collections or fun collections, or you're not a makeup collector, you just want to like go buy makeup from the drugstore, okay, L'Oreal. I get that. I get it. We're gonna go with the L'Oreal Infallible bronzer. I have the shade here, medium, 350 medium. I like, this is a bronzer, honestly, that was on my radar for a while, and then I just needed an excuse to buy it, and that ended up being this video. And it's honestly a really nice formula. It looks beautiful. I would like to get the blushes in this packaging, but they only have 4 shades, and I think 2 of them are, I think they only have 3 or 4 shades, and then there's some pinks, lighter shades, and then the only other, the deep shade that I like, that I was like thinking about is like a really rich rosewood kind of color, terracotta-ish, and I'm like, I'm kind of out of that phase of my makeup journey, so I don't know about that one, but that's why I didn't get a powder blush. But honestly, these freaking liquid blushes are so good that you can see it through the powder, so it's literally perfectly fine. I'm so obsessed with that formula. Honestly, it really blew me away because I tried like probably like 12 or 13 different cream blushes at the same time, and it's not an exaggeration. You can go check the videos on my channel because I did like 2 blush videos back to back of new blushes, and this one ended up being like one of my top favorites. Like, it's probably like, if I went in order, so I have like my top 3 blushes for sure: ColourPop, ELF, and Say. This one would probably be number 4. Not gonna lie to you, but it's still incredible. And honestly, if this one had different colors, it might go up to my favorite, because you can see it is a little bit peachy or pink, which is I love it, but it's not gonna be like an everyday wear, you know.
Just being honest with you guys.
Alright, next we're going to go in with my L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer freaking pencil. I don't know. But literally, why do I wear this all the time? Why? Tell me why. Because honestly, I thought it was like, it's just going to be like another brow pencil. It's freaking fine. You can also get some of L'Oreal's products on Amazon, which I think this is where I got this brow pencil. So I was like, whatever, not thinking about it too much, just bought the freaking brow pencil, and literally I reach for it all the time. It is so easy, so creamy, it just glides through your brows, but it doesn't like fade quickly or anything like that. It's like a really amazing formula, to be honest, and I love that. I probably gotta go get my brows done soon, but it's just so easy. I have to say, this is one of those spoolies that is just like painful for no reason. It's a little bit rough, I'm not gonna lie, but honestly, I have like high-end brow pencils where I hate the spoolie, so it is what it is, honestly. I'm sure we all have brow spoolies laying around, and if you don't, it's like, you know, beauty is pain, it's fine. It's not that bad, it's just like a little bit like, why is like my brow bleeding? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. It's just a little bit like rougher, but it's fine. It's fine. It's also not the like most precise, but I kind of like that because it makes it quick and easy. But it is still, again, creamy. It feels it's a really great brow pencil, one that I just would have never thought was all that in a bag of chips. We're gonna go with the L'Oreal Brow Lamination, which you guys know I've had for a while now. Honestly, I feel like this was like, I don't know, I feel like it was more sideways when I got it. I don't know. But I really like this brow gel. It's been one of the few that has lasted the longest in my collection because I really like it. I think it is more of like that brow wax kind of style. Obviously, it's called a brow lamination, so I'm sure you know. So it's a little bit thicker. It's going to be more gel consistency, which probably doesn't help, but it is a little bit thicker. So it's supposed to give you like that feather brow effect that was like a moment for a while, but it also just holds onto your brows really well, because you guys know I don't really do the feather brow, but I just want something that's gonna hold my brows in place, and this genuinely does. Honestly, it's comparable to like high-end Rare Beauty, Anastasia, Beverly Hills. Like, it's a really good brow gel. I don't feel like it gets nasty or anything like that. I do have to say that you probably want to be more careful with this, just because it is like a brow lamination. It's meant to like hold your thing in place, so I wouldn't just like kind of do it really fast because you want to know what direction your brows are being held in. But it's a good brow gel, just a good one. All right, next let's go in, let's just do the setting spray. Let's do the thing. So we're gonna go in with the freaking, oh my gosh, this is the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist, 36 hour. Literally, when I tell you, I am not someone who wears my makeup for long periods of time normally. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but it's not something I'm like, oh my gosh, my makeup faded. It's not like I'm going out at whatever. It's not something I consciously track, okay? I've always said that though. But the few times that I've worn this freaking setting spray, literally, it so happens that I just wore it all day long, and by the end of the night, my full face was still coming off when I was taking off my makeup. I'm like, fully, it has to be this. Fully. This literally is like hairspray for your face. I'm not lying. It does, when you spray it on originally, it does feel like interesting. You're kind of like, wait, I had to, like, when the first time I sprayed it, I had to reread it. And I was like, and it does say makeup setting spray on the top, because I was like, wait, it does feel like for a second you're spraying on hairspray, but then once it like settles in, you don't feel it. So it's not tight. You're not sitting here like, ugh. It honestly feels fine. For a second, it does like have to set, and so you might feel weird after that. But again, for the rest of the day, it feels fine. I didn't even know I was wearing makeup. And then I go to take it off and I'm like, my full face is still on fully. So just beware too, this is going to be a harsh spray. And I'm going with too many sprays. It also does smell like hairspray. So again, I had to fully check because I was like, what? I don't think that's going to be everyone's everyday setting spray. Again, it is very like intense, but I do feel like if you have a really long day ahead of you, or you really like have a really long event or something that you really want your makeup to like not budge at all, that's your guy. And I'm like, honestly, like Charlotte Tilbury is great and all, but this one will probably make your makeup last longer. I'm going to go ahead and say it with my chest. It's going to make your makeup last longer because it is like, it's not going to like add, I feel like the Charlotte Tilbury does like melt the powders into the face, give you a little bit of a refresh. So I feel like it does do that as well. This one, I don't think so. I think it's just fully for that longevity. And so fully, you're spraying hairspray on your face and I love it. We're going to go with the L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. L'Oreal makes incredible mascaras. I've tried probably like 3 or 4 of their different mascaras and they're all bangers. They're honestly so good. Recently I've been obsessed with the Panorama mascara, but I just used mine up. I wanted to try a different one for this video, and so I got this one, which I have tried in the past. I think they kind of like rebranded these, repackaged these, something like that, because these are not the same as, this one is not the same packaging as before, but it's fine. I did use this, I think I've used it once or twice, and it wasn't like, I like the Panorama better, but I always like a drier mascara better anyway, so like the longer you have a mascara, I feel like sometimes the better it looks. And so this one, since it's fresh, I don't know how good it'll look today because it's been open for a couple weeks, but hopefully it's doing its job really well, but I think you cannot go wrong. So I'm gonna do my mascara and I'll be right back. I knew it. So I always feel like when it's like, again, getting drier, or like the longer you have it, the prettier it looks. And I think that looks really pretty. That's like 2 to 3 coats on each side. It's like not a lot of coats. Because I'm so lazy when it comes to my mascara. If I could do 1 coat with every mascara, forget it. Forget it. And then we're going to go in with, this is the L'Oreal. I don't know what this is called, Worth It Medium in the shade 635. I think these are just their like matte liquid lipsticks. I don't know. I have worn these before, this in another video. Yes. And honestly, these are so good. They genuinely do last like such a long time. Honestly, I haven't tested it like to its full extent, but they're so pretty. Obviously, they're matte liquid lipsticks, which is not everyone's cup of tea anymore. And L'Oreal does have a couple other options with lipsticks. Like they have like more bullet lipsticks or just other options, which I think are super pretty as well. Obviously something for everyone, but I wanted to try these because I like don't have a lot of liquid lipsticks, and I'm like, this is perfect for fall. I feel like they're comfortable, they're not dry, and they look so pretty. Honestly, like my makeup today, 10 out of 10. Even the powder, I feel like the powder under the eyes looks okay. I feel like where I'm noticing it the most, and again, I probably would have used a different setting spray if like this was my everyday, you know, routine. But I feel like it's still, again, like right here, my smile lines, it looks a little dry. A little dry, but honestly, like overall it looks super pretty. Like you can see the whole picture looks very beautiful together, and so that's super exciting. Honestly, I have to say no flops, nothing I would necessarily pass on, I feel like all of these are definitely personal preference. I definitely think L'Oreal is probably the queen of long-lasting makeup at the drugstore. So if that's your like goal, you need something, you really want stuff that's gonna last all day. I think honestly I would go with L'Oreal. Honestly, for a lot of other reasons those too, because they do have incredible makeup, but that's just like another excuse to buy more L'Oreal. I don't know, but what are you saying? Do you guys have any L'Oreal products? What's your favorite products? Anything else I should try? I feel like I should mention eyeshadow. L'Oreal doesn't have any eyeshadow. They don't have any powder eyeshadow, I should say. They have like eyeshadow sticks, but when have you seen me use an eyeshadow stick? Literally never. And so I debated on it. I was like, maybe I should just get one just for this video, but I'm like, I will never use it again. I barely wear eyeshadow, powder eyeshadow, like let alone a eyeshadow sticks. Like, it's just not gonna happen. And then there was one shade that I was like, okay, that one might be good because it might be like an easy look, an easy quick, like it was a matte one, a matte like crayon, and I was like, that might be an easy look, but it was sold out at my Target, so it's fine. The decision was made for me and it's fine. But yeah, see you in my next one. Bye guys.